What if I told you that in 2025, WVU football could flip the script and become a pass-heavy powerhouse under Rich Rodriguez? You heard it right. More airing it out and less ground and pound. But could that really lead to wins in the Big 12, considering RichRod's track record with people like Pat White and Steve Slayton and Denard Robinson and others? He's known as a run-first coach. So can they be a pass-first team and still win? Well, stick around because we're diving deep into why this shift might just actually be a winning formula for West Virginia this year. So let's get into it right now. What is up, and welcome into this episode of Couz's Corner, your home for top-shelf college sports content around West Virginia and the Big 12. For years, Rich Rodriguez has been synonymous with a run-first spread offense that grinds defenses in dust. We've seen it time and time again. But as we look ahead to West Virginia football in 25, there's buzz, some of that created by RichRod himself, that the Mountaineers might pass the ball more than they run it. We've even heard Coach Rod say that himself, that they might pass it more than they run it. Why? The talent in the quarterback room, for one. Also, you look at RichRod's own history of adapting his scheme to showcase his quarterbacks. RichRod is not, yes, he's had great success running the football, but if you look at his past, he has had really good passing quarterbacks, and he has adapted the offense to fit that. Or he's adapted it if he wasn't quite as good in the run game, they'd pass it a little more. He can do whatever he needs to do to win football games. I think he prefers to run it, but he can pass it if he needs to. He's going to do whatever it takes to win. It's also possible, based on the comments they've made about the offensive line struggling to get push at times, maybe the offensive line ends up being better as pass blockers than run blockers. Now, we've not heard Coach Rod or anyone else say that specifically, but I'm just reading between the lines and looking at that as a potential possibility. But all that being said, regardless of what the case is, if that's the way Coach Rod decides to go and that's the way he decides to shape this offense, I don't think it's a gamble, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I actually think it's a proven path to success. And we're going to break down his past successes and how they translate to his second stint in Morgantown. I know one thing, preparing for this video got me fired up for this season, even more so than I already was. If you're fired up for the season, just like me, do me a favor, smash the like button below, and it lets me know that you're fired up for this season, and it lets the YouTube algorithm know that you're liking this content, okay? But let's go ahead and talk history. Let's look at Coach Rod's history, because he didn't become a legend, especially coaching offenses, by accident. You look back to his days as offensive coordinator at Tulane, when he coached a guy by the name of Sean King back in 1998. He unleashed Sean King. That year, King threw for over 3,200 yards and 36 touchdowns, leading Tulane to an undefeated 12-0 season and a Liberty Bowl win. It was a balanced attack, but King's passing prowess was the spark for that football team. Most of you probably remember that. But that's proof that RichRod can dial up throws for big wins. He doesn't just have to hand the ball off 60% of the time. Fast forward past his time at West Virginia. Yes, he had great success at West Virginia running the football with Pat White, Rasheed Marshall, running backs like Steve Slayton and Owen Schmidt, and heck, even Avon Coburn and others. But if you fast forward past that and look at what he did at Arizona for a lot of his time there, he threw the football a lot at Arizona. In 2012, his first season in the desert, he had a quarterback by the name of Matt Scott, who stepped in as quarterback and lit it up under Rich Rodriguez's guidance. He passed for 3,620 yards and 27 touchdowns in 2012. Arizona went on to finish 8-5 that year, including a New Mexico Bowl victory. And Scott's arm was a difference maker. Now, it didn't hurt that they had a running back there named Kadeem Carey who ran for over 1,900 yards. But he balanced that out by throwing the football with Matt Scott. Matt Scott threw the ball 499 times that year. It was a very balanced attack. Then you fast forward a couple years later, he had a quarterback by the name of Anu Solomon. In 2014, Solomon racked up 3,793 passing yards and 28 touchdowns, helping Arizona to a 10-4 record and a Fiesta Bowl appearance. That was the 10-win season and the appearance in a Pac-12 championship and a New Year's Six bowl game. The next year, Solomon's yardage dropped down to 2,600 yards, but he still had a good season. His Pro Football Focus grades were actually quite a bit higher. His yards per attempt went up, and his completion percentage went up. So he was more efficient in the pass game. But overall, RichRod's system elevated Solomon by blending passes with runs for explosive plays. And then you can fast forward to his time at Jacksonville State, even last year. Tyler Huff, everybody talks about how Tyler Huff ran the ball for 1,400 yards, but he also threw the ball for 2,227 yards and 17 touchdowns. Jacksonville State went 9-4 last year, won Conference USA in only their second year as an FBS program. Huff's passing efficiency was key in several games, reminding us fans that RichRod adapts to his quarterback's strengths. And in 2025, he can do that again at West Virginia, and it could mean more passes. But all these examples I gave you scream one thing to me, and that is that a pass-heavy offense at West Virginia is not risky. It's actually possibly a blueprint for RichRod's success. He's done it before. Like I mentioned, turned some good quarterbacks into great quarterbacks. But what do you think? Could this be the year that West Virginia airs it out to find wins just as much as it runs it, or heck, even more than they run it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. All right, now let's zoom in on why this pass shift could work in Morgantown. The Mountaineers quarterback room for 2025 is stacked with talent ready to sling it. You've got Nico Marchiol, you've got Jalen Henderson, you've got Max Brown, Khalil Wilkins, and Scotty Fox. A good mixture of veterans with young guys. And Coach Rod has bragged about this room over and over again. He told Phil Steele in the preseason or in the spring, whenever he was talking to Phil Steele, that it might be the deepest quarterback room he's ever had. But he didn't see the need to get a quarterback in the spring portal window, so his actions backed up his words. West Virginia went out and got over 30 players in the spring portal window. Not one was a quarterback because he liked the guys he brought in the fall window or the winter's portal window, and they also liked the guys they had on campus already. So they didn't need anybody else. He even said at a recent press conference that he felt like all 5 quarterbacks could make all the throws they needed to make in the offense. So this group of quarterbacks has the tools to make a pass-first approach deadly in Morgantown, in my opinion. You combine that with RichRod's play calling. Is it possible that West Virginia could actually average 300 yards a game, passing yards a game in this offense? Think about that. West Virginia, could they average 300 passing yards a game? Let me know in the comments, yes or no, do you think that's possible in 2025? Doesn't mean you abandon the ground game. You don't want to do that with a talented running back like Jaheim White and some of the other guys they have. But you evolve. You become more balanced and keep defenses even more on their toes. Imagine being a defender trying to defend this offense. You're back on your heels. West Virginia snapping the ball every 15 seconds, which is what RichRod wants to do. Everything's moving at lightning fast pace, at least for a football game. You feel like you're playing basketball out there, but yet there's 11 of you on the field and everything's you got 60,000 screaming fans. You've got to make split-second decisions in some cases. You're getting a call in from your coach. You don't know if it's going to be a pass down the sideline to Cam Vaughn, a quick pass out in the flat to Rodney Gallagher. Are they going to hand it to Jaheim up the middle? Is the quarterback going to keep it? Because he's going to be able to get yards in the run game as well. What's going to happen? You don't even know, and you don't have time to catch your breath before you got to make a decision and before you even know what's coming. I don't know about you, man, but talking about this and when I prepped for this video, it made me even more excited about this season than I already was. And even though I predicted a 6-6 season, I tell you what, man, the more I hear from Coach Rod and the other coaches and the players, the more I read, the more podcasts I listen to, it's going to be really hard for me not to drink the Kool-Aid that I tend to drink every off season and get my expectations higher than they probably should be, because I'm telling you, I really, really like the positivity coming out of Morgantown about this quarterback room. But if you're excited like me, if you're a lifelong fan like me and you're reminiscing about the Pat White era and how good that team was, but yet you're excited about this possible twist of passing the ball even more, let me know in the comments. And again, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps the video. Hey, do me a favor. Go check out my good friends over at Appalachia Digital. If you need a brand new website for your small business, or if you're just looking to get found easier on Google, go check out appalachiadigital.com/Couz. These are the fine folks who designed my brand new website over at wvsportschat.com. They did a fantastic job. I love their work. I think you will too. So go check them out. appalachiadigital.com/Couz. Let them know Couz sent you. Now let's get back to the show. There you have it. Mountaineer football could pass more than they run in 2025. And with RichRod's track record with people like Sean King, Tyler Huff, Matt Scott, Anu Solomon, it's a formula for success. Sky's the limit for this offense, especially when you take in the fact that they have someone like Jaheim White in the backfield, assuming he stays healthy. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Who starts at QB for West Virginia? Is it Nico? Is it Jalen Henderson? Does somebody else step up? And how many wins did West Virginia get? I predicted 6-6. What do you think? Let me know in the comments your record prediction for this Mountaineer team. Make sure you turn on those notifications to be notified of future shows, future live streams, future videos. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Be sure to comment. Be sure to share this with your family and friends. And be sure to watch this video in the corner of your screen because YouTube thinks you'll like it. Thank you for tuning in. I hope the rest of your day's top shelf. Let's go Mountaineers. God bless. And Q Country Roads.